If you could go anywhere for a summer vacation, where would you go? If money wasn't an issue, traveling wasn't an issue, where would you have loved to go during your summer vacation? Hello, all of my sparkling beauties and my diamond maniacs. Welcome back to EchoCraft. I am Echo, and if you are new here, welcome. Join in with all the other sparkling beauties. And if you are the type of person that would say, oh no, I am not beautiful, none whatsoever, please, everyone here on this channel is a sparkling beauty. No matter what you look like, no matter what others say, no matter anything, you are a sparkling beauty. Welcome to EchoCraft. I will be honest, I never actually been on a real destination vacation. And there are a couple of places that I would love to visit. The closest thing I had to a summer vacation was a trip to Georgia and slept through the sightseeing of the beach. I discussed that in my summer memories and went in a little bit more details in the story. I don't feel like I need to relive that again. There are places that I would love to go for a dream vacation. I originally wanted to incorporate pictures of these places to provide a visual, but I was worried about copyright issues, and even though I did research on how to use images and learned what images are free to use with or without attribution, I was still scared to take that risk. So instead, I'll display the name of the location on the screen, and you can feel free to look up the locations to get a broader idea of what I'm trying to describe. I would love to go to the Bahamas and experience the country of the Caribbean. I have always thought its clear turquoise waters surrounding the islands was something of fantasies. I am also fascinated with other culture and heard how vibrant Bahamian cultures are, and would love to experience it for myself. Another place in the Bahamas that I would love to experience is Harbor Island, and set my eyes on the beauty that dwells within it, the pink sand beach. Pink sand beaches are just as they sound. They are beaches that have white sand that turns pink when it gets wet. The sand turns pink due to the red pigments from, forgive me, I may be pronouncing this wrong, but foraminifera organisms. If I am mispronouncing that word and you guys know how it is pronounced properly, let me know in the comments. You can write the word based on how it sounds by using capital letters and hyphenated syllables. That would be much appreciated. Anyways, this foraminifera organism is so microscopic. If one looks at these organisms underneath the microscope, they appear as a single-cell organism with hard shells that are so granular that they seem like a grain of sand in the palm of a hand. The red pigments from this foraminifera organism are actually pieces of red coral that has been corroding, destroyed, or weathering away. And these organisms have been drifting with the currents and the waves and ends up washing up on the beach. When the beach's pure white sand mixes with these red pigments from the microscopic foraminifera organism, it mingles with the sand, leaving a pink hue to it while wet. Harbor Island in the Bahamas is not the only beach that features a beautiful pink sand while wet. Other places like Komodo National Park in Indonesia and Budelli in Italy also have beaches where the sand appears pink once it becomes wet. Before I did any research on pink sand beaches, I automatically assumed that the sand was turning pink due to red algae and high sodium content in the water like, forgive me, I might be saying this wrong too, Lake Natron, which is highly dangerous to animals to where they are calcified. Trigger warning. Pictures of Natron Lake can be very disturbing, unsettling, haunting, and horrific, especially if you are an animal lover. I do not suggest anyone to look up pictures of this location. because it does feature lots of mummified birds. Once again, trigger warning. Lake Natron, if you looked up pictures, can be very disturbing, unsettling, and scary. So just so you know, you have been warned. So if you decide to look up pictures, that's on you. That was the risk that you were willing to take. I have already warned you that images can be disturbing. Since it is dangerous to animals, I am assuming that it's also dangerous to humans as well. But flamingos thrive there. Their thick-scaled feet and legs act as an armor to the harmful water. They also eat the algae, which gives them the beautiful pink feathered coats that they have. I thought the reason why Harbor Island had pink sand was because of this harmful red algae and high sodium levels in the waters, which would have made the beach toxic to human and uninviting. I was happy to hear that wasn't the case, and was more intrigued that it was the red coral that initiated the iconic pink sands. I also thought maybe it was the sand itself that changes the colors when it gets swept, and wondered what would have happened if someone took a portion of that sand home with them, which I am sure is illegal, and got it wet with everyday tap water from the faucet. Would the sand still have a pink hue? In my way of thinking, the microscopic foraminifera organism particles have already been washed up on the shore and mixed with the grain of sands. I thought the natural color of these fragments from the coral reef dyes the sand when those fragments get swept and spread their natural color onto the sand grains, staining them with a pink tint. I also had a theory that maybe it was the surrounding body of water, specifically that turns the sand pink once it brushes over the sand by carrying a red tint with its waves. After debating with myself, I wonder if it is a little bit of both. I need to stop talking and move on because I think I am barely making sense to myself and I am sounding a little far-fetched. Overall, I think the mystery behind how the sand turns pink is what I find fascinating about the pink sand beaches. The Bahamas in general is one of my top dream vacation spots. What do you think about the pink sand beaches? Would you like to experience it for yourself? Would you or have you ever been to the Bahamas for a summer vacation? My dream vacation locations are not all outside of the U.S. There are plenty of places that I would love to visit here in the U.S. too. New York has been on the top of my list of locations to visit for years, since I was a teenager. And a couple of years ago, my husband and I were very fortunate to travel to New York City during the Christmas time with my cousin and his wife. His wife was not a stranger to New York and knew all of the places to go, and knew the subway transport like the back of her hand, which I was glad because I would have been so confused on what sub to switch to and which station to flee to catch the sub that would take us to our destination. And thank God she knew what she was doing and where we were going, because I was fearful that we would be lost and wind up somewhere where we shouldn't be, or something like that. We followed them around and was able to see historical sites, building, movie locations, and I fell in love with the cobblestone road down Soho. I have always dreamed of going to New York when I was younger and proclaimed to my friends that one day I was going to go to the Big Apple. Some thought I was delusional, but 15 years later, I did. I only stayed for 2 days, but it was still a dream come true for me. I would love to revisit Washington, D.C., stay a week and walk around the areas, sightsee and visit historical landmarks, monuments, and museums. I went to Washington, D.C. 17 years ago for my senior field trip with a bunch of my other classmates and my BFFL. We did visit historical areas, historical homes, and various memorials. However, I was a depressed and out-of-touch teen who couldn't see past the veil that was covering my eyes and couldn't clear the cloud that was fogging my mind to enjoy and appreciate the history behind every location that we went to. Honestly, I don't have much of a memory about Washington, D.C. due to the mental state that I was in. I remember the ride there and back with my friends, goofing off, having fun, and working on one of my stories during the bus ride. I remember the dinner on the boat, which was one of my favorites. I remember an embarrassing incident that happened to one of the girls that was rooming with us while we were in Washington, D.C. that me and my friend occasionally would still talk about. It was mortifying at the time, but I am able to laugh about it now. However, I could tell a heck of a story to what happened in our hotel with this one roommate. No joke. It would be one of those hard-to-believe roommates from Hades story situation. Let's just say I am glad that me and the other two girls did not have repercussions for the one girl's action. The worst part was there was talk going around that the hotel no longer wanted our school back because of what this one girl did. I don't know if that is true or if that was a rumor. I do not know, but I do know that our supervisor teacher was furious with our group, even though the 3 out of the 4 of us was completely innocent. Unfortunately, the unruly roommate tainted the whole experience because I was having anxiety of being sued, since the hotel very well could have sued us, sued the girl, and sued our school for destructive behavior and destruction of property. It could have been seen as vandalism. Luckily, we didn't get in trouble, but thanks to that one girl, senior trip changed after we graduated. Don't know how. Unfortunately, my little sister could not experience DC because she graduated in 2020. COVID changed lots of things, but I would love to go back with my hubby who has never been, without a frustrating roommate and with the appreciation for history and historical objects that I did not have then. Sure, my husband probably would have to pry me away from colonial-style dresses and drag me out of my dream Victorian and colonial-style houses. I do not regret my senior trip other than agreeing to the one girl to board with us, but I do regret not taking in the experience and appreciating everything about it. Now that I am older, slightly more mature, and in a better mindset than before, I would love to return, learn more, and show that admiration and appreciation to our historical past. Yes, there were some bad things that has happened. As long as we remember them, learn from them, and recognize how unethical and harmful they were, then we wouldn't want to repeat history. Some would say that a week in Washington, D.C. wouldn't be considered a vacation. Just for clarification, my husband and I go to nerd conventions and horror cons as a mini vacation, and that is what we've always called it, a mini vacation. As much as I would love to go to the beach in Bahamas, Hawaii, San Francisco, and many other tropical locations and revisit lost experiences from my youth, nothing could compare to the most popular vacation spot that I have never been to, Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. I would love to walk down the boardwalk at night with everything lit up, go broke at Broadway at the beach by shopping, dining, and enjoying the entertainment that may be performing there. The Sky Wheel looks enormous, and I could only imagine what the view would look like from the top. There are over 100 shopping areas available, countless of restaurants to eat from, and different attractions the whole family could enjoy. Also, there is a beach that we could stroll down to, build castles in the sand, swim, and get away from the stresses of life, and simply enjoying every moment with those that we love. It seems like the type of picturesque family fun vacation that not only would I want for my memory vault, but for my whole family to experience. My next summer dream vacation isn't just my dream, but it's also my husband's dream. Nor is it only limited to a summer vacation. Matter of fact, I think this next vacation dream would be perfect for retirement because this could be anywhere up to a year to 3 years to achieve this vacation dream. My husband always talked about how he would love to own a nice RV and travel across the country. Visit locations from each state and at least stay a day or so in every state. I don't mind that idea, but I know that would probably be the most expensive and longest vacation we could ever dream of. I would love to travel like that and see the world. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, I know not everybody would like to do this. There are some people who would rather vacation at home, and there's nothing wrong with that. I am a homebody myself for the most part, but I also like to get out, shop around, sightsee, and discover the world. Traveling around the whole U.S., stopping at every state and admire every landmark attraction seems a little too out there. It does seem unrealistic and not achievable, but anything could happen, right? As of right now, I don't have any summer plans to go on a vacation, but hopefully one day I will. I tell myself all the time that I will never get to go to any of these places or revisit a certain place while I'm still here on Earth. But then I remembered New York. I have always wanted to go. I didn't think I will ever go. And then an opportunity came up and I was able to make that dream come true. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll fulfill one of my dream vacations. What is your dream vacation? It can be someplace elaborate or somewhere local, somewhere close to you. Something small like maybe a convention, or maybe you would like to travel to the world's biggest flea market and just spend the whole day just looking around and shopping. I mean, I would love that too. If my husband looked at me and said, we're going to take a little summer vacation, but we're just going to go to different flea markets and shop around for a couple of days, you better believe I'd be packing my stuff saying, let's go. I mean, I would love that too. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and see you next week for some more fun summer-themed instrumentals.